February 1st, 2016. Donald Trump admits being a little bit nervous about today's Iowa caucuses. A more agitated Sanders tries to fend off attacks of nervous establishment. George Soros donates $8 million to boost Hillary. Official says withheld Clinton emails contained operational intel and put lives at risk. At Ted Cruz event, Phil Robertson calls gay marriage evil. Bush doing whatever it takes to stay relevant. Bloomberg's Joshua Green says there is no Rubio surge in Iowa. Bank of America says the oil crash is kicking off one of the largest wealth transfers in human history. Microsoft plumbs ocean's depths to test underwater data center. British researchers get green light to genetically modify human embryos. February 2nd, 2016. Cruz beats Trump in Iowa. Clinton edges out Sanders in historically close caucus. Ted Cruz credits attack on Donald Trump's New York values in Iowa win. Did Trump's debate snub hurt him? Fox News commentators say it did. Why a virtual tie in Iowa is better for Clinton than Sanders. How Iowa went wrong for Hillary Clinton. Marco Rubio emerges as champion of battered Republican establishment. Santorum precinct chairman on not voting. Failure to launch. Airbnb slammed for offering rooms with a view in Jewish settlements. Groundhog Day. Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow. February 3rd, 2016. Trump accuses Cruz of fraud, calls for new Iowa election. Ted Cruz is a natural-born citizen, Board of Elections finds. Rand Paul suspends 2016 presidential campaign. Hillary Clinton's dutiful slog. Clinton sends Brooklyn headquarters staff to New Hampshire. Sanders won't debate Thursday unless Clinton agrees to future debates. Cut Clinton some slack. House fails to override President's veto of Obamacare repeal. Goldman Sachs says it may be forced to fundamentally question how capitalism is working. Amazon plans hundreds of brick-and-mortar bookstores, mall CEO says. February 4th, 2016. Clinton's security clearance is under scrutiny. The email scandal stretches far beyond Hillary. Female senators urge Warren, back Hillary Clinton. Chris Christie and Jeb Bush team up on a mutual target, Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio slams Obama's speech on fighting Islamophobia. Trump and Rubio question President Obama's visit to a mosque. Donald Trump to take New Hampshire by storm. Goldman Sachs chief Lloyd Blankfein says Sanders' candidacy a dangerous moment. Julian Assange is being arbitrarily held, UN panel to say. February 5th, 2016. Clinton and Sanders just had the election's most explosive exchange to date. Revolution or evolution? Sanders and Clinton tout differences. Hillary Clinton is again put on the defensive over perceived ties to Wall Street. Hillary Clinton's problem isn't that she's not progressive, it's that she's cautious. Trump on Cruz feud. I don't care about that anymore. Carson says Cruz staff must be punished for deceptive voicemail. Ted Cruz attacks Sean Penn, and here's Penn's response. Donald Trump supporters think about morality differently than other voters. Here's how. Sports Authority to take steps towards a bankruptcy filing. New UN stamps promote LGBT rights. February 6th, 2016. Clinton email scandal. Why it might be time for Democrats to draft Joe Biden. Trump drops the F-bomb. Republican frontrunner tells American companies that relocate overseas to go F themselves at a campaign rally in New Hampshire. Benghazi committee Dems gave thousands in bonuses while blasting probe's cost. $153 million in Bill and Hillary Clinton speaking fees documented. The Bernie versus Hillary fight is kind of ridiculous. Thousands take part in anti-Islam protests across Europe. DHS ordered to scrub records of Muslims with terror ties. Twitter to introduce algorithmic timeline as soon as next week. The rich are already using robo-advisors, and that scares banks. Flying pink dildo hits politician in the face during presser. February 7th, 2016. Under attack, Marco Rubio malfunctions and repeats the same line 4 times. Last night's Marco Bot moment may have ruined a political career. Gloria Steinem and Madeleine Albright scold young women backing Bernie Sanders. Gloria Steinem says young women only support Bernie because boys do. Clinton campaign has no answer yet on releasing speeches to Goldman. North Korea launches satellite, sparks fears about long-range missile program. North Korea praises launch, others see as covert missile test. Video calls ABC anybody but Carly network for debate snub. CNN to hold Democratic presidential debate in Flint, Michigan. Bush loyalists concede the end may be in sight. February 8th, 2016. Bill Clinton unleashes stinging attack on Bernie Sanders. Clinton making a personal pitch to New Hampshire voters. Hillary can't dodge Goldman Sachs questions forever. Pressure on Lynch to step aside in Clinton email probe. White House asks Congress for $1.8 billion to fight Zika virus. Former Mexican president says we're not paying for stupid wall. Another Islamic State jailer who held Western hostages identified as Londoner. Bush campaign manager warns aides to watch for dirty tricks from Rubio camp. February 9th, 2016. A racist, sexist demagogue just won the New Hampshire primary. Bernie Sanders is the future of the Democratic Party. Hillary says people are angry in bitter concession speech in New Hampshire. Bill stumping for Hillary Clinton. Sometimes I wish we weren't married. Gay voter to Marco Rubio. Why do you want to put me back in the closet? Marco Rubio believes he must be doing something right. A woman called Ted Cruz a pussy, and then Donald Trump repeated it on stage. Senate report says illegal immigrants benefited from up to $750 million in Obama subsidies. Indian scientists study chunk that fell from sky and killed man. St. Louis usurps Detroit to become most violent city in the U.S. Gateway City is worst for rape, robbery, aggravated assault, and murder, according to FBI data. February 10th, 2016. Bernie Sanders' huge New Hampshire win exposes a fractured Democratic Party. The rise of Donald Trump is a terrifying moment in American politics. Jeb says New Hampshire has reset the race. Chris Christie expected to formally end presidential bid as early as today. Supreme Court puts Obama's power plant regs on hold. Pregnancy clinics fight for right to deny abortion information. FBI can't figure how to unlock encrypted phone in San Bernardino investigation. February 11th, 2016. Democratic Fight Night in Wisconsin. Congressional Black Caucus to formally endorse Clinton on Thursday. Stop Bernie-splaining to black voters. Republican elites land in South Carolina with no plan to stop Trump. GOP doubts grow about Rubio. Bush says Trump would be worse than Obama. Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy arrested. Oregon standoff. FBI surrounds occupiers at wildlife refuge. Berlin Film Festival jury question over diversity. February 12, 2016. In Democratic debate, Hillary Clinton paints Bernie Sanders' plans as unrealistic. Hillary Clinton's Wall Street talks were highly paid and friendly. Trump calls Cruz a liar. New Cruz ad hits Trump's character and accuses him of sleaze. Cruz campaign removes ad featuring softcore porn star. You didn't hear this from me, but why South Carolina primary politics are so dirty. Cops kill man after machete attack at Ohio deli. Sanders' Secret Service codename revealed. Questions grow over banks as profit warnings pile up. Apparently, we should get on a boat and leave America ASAP. February 13th, 2016. Trump and Cruz trade punches as South Carolina turns fierce. Talking to Marco Rubio, a scripted candidate suddenly gets chatty. GOP megadonors frozen in frustration. Albright says special place in hell comment came at wrong time. After Oregon standoff, some say right fight, wrong tactics. FBI looked at Ohio machete attacker 4 years ago. No touching. Huma Abedin caught on camera shoving a woman away who tries to give her a hug and then uttering a few stern words before walking away. Prepare for guerrilla warfare with Zika carrying mosquitoes, experts warn. Columbine's killer's mother, Sue Klebold, on relationship with her son. The secret anti-languages you're not supposed to know. February 14th, 2016. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia dies at 79. Antonin Scalia's legacy, blistering zingers, and a more partisan America. Conservatives quickly refuse any Obama court replacement after Antonin Scalia's death. McConnell throws down the gauntlet, no Scalia replacement under Obama. Judiciary Chair says standard practice to not confirm SCOTUS nominee in election year. If Republicans block Obama's pick to replace Scalia, he wins anyway. The You Lie debate. Republicans running out of time to stop Trump in South Carolina. Donald Trump and Ted Cruz campaigns bash RNC for stacking audience with pro-amnesty donor class. Putin proves Obama wrong with his ugly military solution in Syria. February 15th, 2016. Why blocking Obama's pick to replace Scalia could cost Republicans their Senate majority. Jeb Bush adds a weapon, his brother, despite worries it could misfire. Clinton has superdelegate edge in Nevada and South Carolina. Sanders supporters revolt against superdelegates. Foreclosure crisis snarls Clinton and Sanders' efforts to reach Nevada voters. Anti-migrant force builds in Europe, hurting Merkel's quest. Saudi Arabia launches military exercise with 20 nations. Eliot Spitzer investigated over alleged choking incident. RNC under fire over debate audience stacking. Local GOP chairman confirms party donors get debate tickets. February 16th, 2016. Hillary Clinton barks like a dog to slam Republicans. Trump takes on everybody. Cruz not standing for Rubio and Trump calling him a liar. Donald Trump leaves supporters cold as he accuses Rubio of excess sweating. Ben Carson says Trump could easily collapse. Opening shot in Rubio's Morning Again in America ad appears to be Canada. Read to GOP. For the good of the country, stop your nakedly partisan obstruction. Obama could win SCOTUS battle in this 17-day window. In election years, a history of confirming court nominees. Scalia's death could doom McConnell and hurt Menendez. February 17th, 2016. Apple vows to resist FBI demand to crack iPhone linked to San Bernardino attacks. Judge forces Apple to help unlock San Bernardino shooter phone. Apple CEO Tim Cook fires back at FBI in terror case. FBI can't figure how to unlock encrypted phone in San Bernardino investigation. The more Donald Trump defies his party, the more his supporters cheer. Poll says reaction by some to Trump and Clinton? Fear. Trump isn't into anal, Melania never poops, and other things he told Howard Stern. FBI finds trench of human feces at cultural site on Oregon refuge. Man arrested for Facebook posts about Syrian refugees in Scotland. Twitter shadow banning real and happening every day, says inside source. February 18th, 2016. President Obama will visit Cuba in historic trip next month, sources say. Trump leads Republican field nationally by more than 20 points, says poll. Donald Trump falls behind Ted Cruz in national poll. The Republican Scalia hysteria. White House says Obama regrets his filibuster of Supreme Court nominee. Sandra Day O'Connor says Obama should name Scalia's replacement. White House rips Schumer's credibility on national security. Freed Gitmo detainee, ex-Bin Laden aide cements place as top jihadist in videos. Pope Francis rips capitalism and American immigration policy at Mexican border. February 19th, 2016. Harper Lee, author of To Kill a Mockingbird, dies at 89. Poll says Clinton feels the burn, trails Sanders by 3 points nationally. Hillary Clinton says, I've always tried to tell the truth. McConnell and Grassley say Democrats shouldn't rob voters of chance to replace Scalia. In 2002, Donald Trump said he supported invading Iraq. Secret memo details U.S.'s broader strategy to crack phones. Pope suggests people can use contraception to avoid Zika virus. At least 100 bodies found in sewer system under Colombian prison. Pat Buchanan says Donald Trump's rise is rejection of a quarter century of Bush republicanism. February 20th, 2016. South Carolina and Nevada votes to test anti-establishment mood. Trump tells story about Muslims being shot with bullets dipped in pig's blood. Pro-Cruz robocall slams Trump over exchange with lesbian reporter. On eve of South Carolina vote, nation's ICE officers detail how Marco Rubio betrayed them. On caucus eve, Clinton's allies warn Nevada's Latinos to beware of Bernie Sanders. Superdelegates, clarify your role. San Bernardino shooter's iCloud password changed while iPhone was in government's possession. Italian author Umberto Eco dies aged 84. Bush staff float resumes with Florida consultants. February 21st, 2016. Clinton defeats Sanders in Nevada. Black voter support appears decisive. Jeb Bush suspends 2016 presidential campaign. History is now on Donald Trump's side. If Trump's foes don't unite soon, it's a done deal. Mitt Romney to endorse Marco Rubio. Houston investor linked to $1 million Cruz Super PAC donation. Glenn Beck responds to South Carolina primary results. Join me in a fast for Ted Cruz. Why sexism at the office makes women love Hillary Clinton. 6 dead in Kalamazoo County shooting spree. Gunman still at large. February 22nd, 2016. Delegate count leaving Bernie Sanders with steep climb. Trump has a stranglehold on the GOP nomination, so why isn't he getting credit? Conservatives say court nominee must be stopped at all costs. Roberts calls late Justice Scalia our man for all seasons. Why blocking Obama's pick to replace Scalia could cost Republicans their Senate majority. San Bernardino victims to oppose Apple on iPhone encryption. Obama is looting the Treasury to pay off insurers. Iran elections test U.S. gamble on nuke deal. Woman 106 dances with joy at meeting the Obamas. Young boy repeatedly assaulted after he was billeted with migrant men. February 23, 2016. Nevada entrance poll analysis says Trump rides wave of anger to projected victory. GOP wakes up to the Trump nightmare. 4 problems with the winnowing theory of Trump's downfall. Joe Biden in 1992 said, "No nominations to the Supreme Court in an election year." Collins backs hearing for Obama SCOTUS nominee. Obama said, "I'm absolutely committed to closing Gitmo." Bill Gates breaks with tech industry over FBI's phone hack request. ICE officer to Rubio, "You lied to American public on Fox News," challenges him to meet. Seas are rising at fastest rate in last 28 centuries. Texas court clears ex-governor Rick Perry of second felony charge. February 24, 2016. Trump shatters the Republican Party. The only strategy for Hillary Clinton is to scorch the earth. Shouts of liar are taking their toll on Ted Cruz's campaign. What today's Republicans don't get about Reagan. Adelsons cast their ballots in Las Vegas, but keep cards close. Abortion clinics are closing at a record pace. TurboTax says most uninsured escaped Obamacare penalty. Pro-Palestinian student group harassing Jewish CUNY students. An American hijab at the Olympics. The $400,000 a year New Zealand job with 3 months holiday that no one wants. February 25, 2016. Romney says there's a bombshell in Trump's tax returns. Debate another chance for Rubio and Cruz to try to slow Trump. GOP leaders, you must do everything in your power to stop Trump. Senate Republicans lose their minds on a Supreme Court seat. GOP congressman circulates letter urging Rubio or Cruz to drop out of presidential race. RNC sees leverage over Trump. Spy agencies say Clinton emails closely match top-secret documents. Act better. Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx takes a dig at Will Smith's Oscar boycott. February 26, 2016. Rubio and Cruz throw everything they can at frontrunner Trump. Trump is the GOP's Frankenstein monster. Now he's strong enough to destroy the party. Graham on Trump. Nutjob who likely wins GOP nomination. Republicans have totally lost their mojo. Apple's lawyer says if we lose, it will lead to a police state. Trump's 12 years of audits very unusual, ex-IRS agent says. Cedric Larry Ford kills 3 and injures 14 in Kansas shooting spree. Michigan governor's advisors warned about Flint water crisis months before disclosures. Obama administration set to expand sharing of data that NSA intercepts. February 27, 2016. Inside the Republican Party's desperate mission to stop Donald Trump. Trump's debate was a disaster if voters notice. Ex-Mexican President Fox says, Donald Trump reminds me of Hitler. 8 times Chris Christie suggested Donald Trump shouldn't be president. IRS commissioner says Donald Trump's audit scenario rare. Clinton's private email, 1,500 more pages made public. U.S. details 9 Zika pregnancies, 2 abortions, 2 miscarriages, 1 baby with severe microcephaly. Hate crime killer caught on camera. I effing shot him dead. February 28, 2016. South Carolina Democratic primary results 2016. An overwhelming win for Clinton. Black voters boost Clinton in South Carolina. Hillary says we don't need to make America great, Instead of building walls, we need to be tearing down barriers. Barack Obama's heir. Hillary Clinton, smart power and a dictator's fall. Trump won't disavow support from KKK and David Duke. Trump blames lousy earpiece for David Duke uproar. Joe Scarborough says Trump's KKK ignorance disqualifying. Ex-CIA chief says armed forces would have to disobey Trump. MSNBC to sever ties with Melissa Harris Perry after host's critical email. February 29th, 2016. Ted Cruz questions Donald Trump's ties to mafia-linked twice-convicted felon. Spray tans, pants wetting, and little hands. The GOP race goes in the gutter. Even as he rises, Donald Trump entertains conspiracy theories. Poll says Donald Trump leads in Virginia, and Georgia, Ted Cruz hanging on in Texas. Ben Carson says why I intend to stay in the GOP presidential race. Heroin crisis puts vulnerable U.S. Senate Republicans in a bind. Decapitated in her cot, horrific details emerge of how burqa-clad nanny left 4-year-old child's body in her bed before parading through Moscow streets with little girl's head. Airbnb guest shocked by decomposing corpse in garden. Chris Rock crushed it.